Welcome everybody to both sides of the conversation. I'm Executive Director John Henry. Today is our Educational Thursday. We're going to go ahead and have a previous presentation presented tonight that you guys saw a week or two ago. I know a lot of people called and wanted that missed this one, but our presenter for tonight, she had a death in her family and wasn't able to do the presentation tonight. So we just want to say condolence to her family. She will rebook and do this presentation for community. So we're looking forward to that in the future. And just want to say thank you to everybody that's been calling, checking on me. I'm doing fine. I took my vaccination. I've been under the weather, relaxing, laying down. So, just not even having the sister come on tonight probably was a good thing because I'm not in the best spirits, but I'm still here moving and grooving. And we just go continue to rock out. But tonight we will be doing a pre-recorded presentation from one of our previous educational Thursday segments. So just excited about that. And then it's been a nice day in the Bay Area. Glad to see people out moving around. We still in the pandemic. Just want to make sure people are social distancing and making sure that they still wearing a mask because we still have a pandemic going on. And then with this good weather, a reminder to make sure that everybody continues to conserve water as much as we can. As you guys know, this drought is real, and we need to conserve all the water that we can out here in California. So just hopefully community stick together on that. And then I'll make another announcement. A couple parents reached out to me again. People that's driving out in the community, please slow down. Parents been calling me saying, thank you, John, for saying it. Please keep saying it because people are flying by our schools and flying through our neighborhoods. So please be cautious when you're driving around our schools and through the neighborhoods. Watch your speeds because our young people are out. Some people are going back to school, and we want to make sure that our young people are safe and being able to get to school without being hit or anything by car. So just wanted to say that. And then just want to say shout out to all the 49er fans. I know today is draft day. Everybody's watching the draft and everybody's watching the Warriors and stuff. So shout out to the Niners. We got Trey Lance, first time getting a black man as a quarterback for the 49ers. I'm really excited, with all that's going on in this country. Even since I was a young kid, I've always wanted the 49ers to get a black quarterback. And today it happened. It was time they could have got Michael Vick and different people. And I was just like, man, what's going on with San Francisco? So shout out to the 49ers today, bringing this young brother in here. And we're going to see what he's going to do. So shout out to all of the football fans. I know this is an exciting day for all our football fans across this country. But I'm going to go ahead and let everybody know. We go ahead and do this pre-recorded show today, and then I just want to let everybody know this Sunday we'll be back live for our Sunday show, and we'll be ready. And then to all of our community people who are watching us, just wanted everybody to know when you go to our website now, we had a bunch of people who was calling about language barriers. They want to be a part of our show, but because of the language barrier, we have uploaded the Google Translate to our website. So if you do speak a different language, when you click on our website and you go to the home page, right next to the donate button, there's a Google Translate. You could click on that, pick whatever language you speak, and it'll convert our whole website into the language that you speak so that you could navigate it. We're working on trying to get the same thing for our YouTube because there's a lot of people watching on YouTube that said, how do you convert it into Spanish and different things of that nature. So we're going to work on it, that. And once we get that information, we'll get it back out to community. So just wanted to say, that's a nice feature, especially for our Black and Brown community. There's a lot of languages on that Google Translate that you can use. So please go to our website, check it out. It's definitely a cool feature. Here's our website. I'll put it up. We have all of the different languages that you could do. We also have our ADA button on there for people with disabilities that need to use the ADA button to be whatever features that you need. It's up as well. So I just want to say shout out to our website guy and our team for making that happen. Shout out to Tashelle, making sure that we follow through to get that done because we have had a lot of community reaching out saying that, they want to be able to participate, but it was some language barrier. So happy to have that up and running and going. And, that's it for me today. Again, I'm just going to keep resting and try to get back up. This Saturday, we have the City Eat feed this Saturday for community. I'll post the flyers again if you guys want to come out and support City Eats and come out and feed the people in need in the city. Phenomenal event. We'll be out there all day Saturday for that event. I want to say thank you to Collective Impact. Uncle Stank making sure that the PPE and the stuff that we need we was able to get. And shout out to YCD, Black to the Future for all what they're doing for community. And we have some phenomenal events coming up next week for Mother's Day that we're going to be a part of. So a lot of things are coming, a lot of change happening, but we are here. Click the donate button, keep supporting. Again, everything comes to this organization is about community and our youth and what we're doing here on this platform. So thank you all for being patient. Sorry our presenter for the night wasn't able to present. I know some people was waiting to see this presentation, but because of the loss of her family member, she wasn't able to do it today, but we'll get her back in the future. But tonight we're going to go ahead and replay one of the previous shows that we had on our Educational Thursday, and then you could watch any other one of our shows that you missed on our YouTube tonight. So thank you for tuning in. We apologize for not having a guest for tonight, but we will reschedule her and get her back. But we're definitely going to keep her in our prayers, and to all the families who lost loved ones over the years. It's been a lot. So just want to let them know that we are there and we support them. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close my mouth and go back and hydrate and lay myself down. And we're going to go ahead and play this video from the previous week. Thank you very much, everybody. See you soon. Welcome everybody to Both Sides of the Conversation. I'm John Henry, Executive Director of Both Sides of the Conversation. Today is our Educational Thursday. We have a phenomenal presentation tonight that's just going to rock you guys out. I know there's been a lot of comments about this drop shipping and people been asking me. I can't wait. Tonight we have a phenomenal guest and she's just going to give it to us. But before we get started, I just want to say, I know right now the tensions around the country is high with the killing of Dante Wright. We had a 13-year-old that was killed in Chicago. We had an Army vet who was pepper sprayed and handled just horribly in this country by police. And these issues continue to keep happening and affecting our community. We have to stand together in solidarity, and we have to have a conversation about this that continues to go on. But it's like, when is enough? But we got to stick together, and this fight is going to continue, and we're going to do everything we can to support the families and just make sure that we all watch and protecting each other, because that's what it takes, a community to get through this. I mean, today I even encountered an incident where a police officer pulled someone over and was being a little hostile, and I kind of stopped. It was a young man, and I was able to just kind of get in the situation and diffuse it, and got the young brother back on the road and going. But we got to do a little bit better to community with our young people. I know the young people are frustrated. These killings keep happening, but we also got to educate our young people how to deal and handle with these police. And I understand, even when you comply, you still could die, and we don't have no rights, and we're being terrorized sometimes by some of these officers. But we just just got to continue to just educate our young people and let them know when they get in these difficult situations how to handle it. So just looking forward to keep doing that and working with our young people that we mentor and let them know as well. So we're going to keep doing that. And then this Saturday, we're going to have our solidarity event that we're going to be a part of. We're going to go down to San Francisco City Hall. We're going to march in solidarity and show up for the Asian community and just all communities coming together, standing in solidarity, putting away these stigmas and conversations that we're not all together, and just let people know that the behaviors and the acts that's been happening is not acceptable, and we don't stand by that. So looking forward to that event this weekend and many more weekends as well. I want to thank the Both Sides of the Conversation team. A lot of you know we are growing, expanding, we're doing different things, and just appreciating the change and things that's happening as we continue to intentionally impact our community with information, education, like tonight's presentation, things like that, to make sure that we get the knowledge so that we can all grow as a community and impact the communities economically. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and bring up our sister tonight. We have Natashas Livingston, a San Francisco native, graduated from Sac State with a marketing degree, coming on to talk about this Forex, cryptocurrency, and drop shipping. Everybody's asking about it. Phenomenal sister. I'm going to let her go ahead and introduce herself to everybody, and we'll get started with tonight's presentation.
All right. Thank you so much. And John, I definitely want to give it back to you and everybody at Both Sides of the Conversation family. What you guys are doing is absolutely phenomenal. So I definitely want to give you your flowers. Again, my name is Natashas Livingston. I'm from Sacramento, California. Y'all, my story is not too different from probably anybody else's story. Literally did everything I was supposed to do. Went to school, got good grades, went to college, right? Went to Sacramento State. And while I was there, boy, did I have a time, right? Literally didn't really want to go to college, but again, it wasn't really an option in my house. Obviously, college was the next step. Didn't really know what I wanted to do though. Transparently, I changed my major 4 times. It was insane. And although I didn't know what I wanted to do, I did know 2 things, right? I knew I wanted to make a lot of money, and I knew I didn't want to work for anybody else. Didn't know how either of those 2 things was going to happen, but that's what I had my mind set on. So much to my surprise, when I graduated, I was not making a lot of money, and I was definitely working for somebody else. And so I made this decision that after I graduated, I was going to move to Atlanta. Right. So I moved to Atlanta after graduation. I thought, you know what, there's going to be better job opportunities out there. Young Black entrepreneurs are thriving. So that's where I'm going to go. So I moved to Atlanta and was then even more surprised that I could not find a job. Literally applied to over 100 jobs, didn't get any of them. Right. Got hired at some, right. But they were either jobs that I didn't want. They weren't better than the job that I already had, or it was like just super sketch. They wanted me selling pillows at Kroger, and absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I was kind of bougie at the time. I'm like, look, I just graduated with 2 degrees. I'm not trying to sell pillows, right? So I actually kept the job. I was able to transfer my job from Cali to Atlanta. So super grateful for that. But while I was in Atlanta, I was just super unhappy at this job, right? Literally went through a quarter life crisis. Mental health was just perishing. I'm working 12 hours a day. Life sucked, right? Coworker of mine, his name's Malcolm Garrison. He literally put me onto some information, right? Put me onto some information that changed everything for me. He told me, he said, look, Brittany, his wife, it was his girlfriend at the time. He said, look, Brittany just started learning how to trade. You should do it too. Mind you, this is 2017. I don't know what trading is, nothing like that, right? So I go to this event with him and I'm like, wow, this is cool, but this seems so familiar, right? Y'all, one of my degrees is in international business, right? And one of the classes that I needed to take to graduate in spring 2016 was international finance. And what that class was basically teaching about the foreign exchange market, or Forex for short, if you've heard of it, right? And y'all, this class was so hard. I don't know if it was the teacher, I don't know if it was the material, but sis almost didn't graduate, right? Like almost failed the class. And so as I'm listening to this information, I'm like, wow, like this was the same information that, you know, I went to school for. And so it was just kind of like a full circle moment for me, right? And so started learning how to trade with them. That was about 4 years ago. And life has not been the same since then, right? What we saw then, what we had then was vision, right? You know, I know a lot of people have heard about Forex, might have heard about cryptocurrency, right? And people are making a ton of money with it, right? But I want to paint a picture with you, right? I was a part of the first cohort of, you know, young Black people to begin trading. Right. When I started trading, guys, the biggest day that somebody had was 81 cents. 81 cents. We like literally laugh about it now because I mean, there are people who are making thousands of dollars daily, but we all got started off of somebody making 81 cents. But see, it's not about the 81 cents, right? What the people in that room had, we had vision. See, that 81 cents, it very well could have been $8. It could have been $80. It could have been $800, $8,000. And so what we all locked into was the vision. And as we started educating ourselves more and more, that's when a lot of us became super passionate about educating our communities, especially the Black and brown communities, right? Never have we ever seen, you know, people that look like us, right, having, you know, all this success and creating all this wealth for themselves, right? So that's why I'm truly super passionate about sharing this information about how you can start capitalizing in this digital space, right? So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I hope you have some type of, you know, notebook, a pen, a pencil, something to take notes with. Right. Remember this, guys. Applied note takers are money makers, right? Applied note takers are money makers. So I like to start right here, guys. This is what I like to call the cash flow quadrant. And I'm going to be throwing out gems to y'all all night, right? Now, this concept right here was created by a gentleman by the name of Mr. Robert Kiyosaki. All right. He's the author of the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you haven't read it, let that be your first note, right? Y'all go pick up this book. If you don't like reading, catch the audio. I promise you, this book will literally change the way that you view money. It was the first book that I read in 2017 when I was on like my personal development journey, right? First book I read, and it was even months before I got introduced to trading and Forex, but that's just all about alignment, right? See, I started reading about this information way before I even started trading, right? So if you're looking for a breakthrough, right, you might be on your path to alignment. So anyways, what this says, it literally explains all the different ways that somebody can make money. And I promise you, everything on this is going to be layman's terms, super simple, right? There are two sides of money, left side, right side. Now, on the left side of money, you have 95% of the people, right? 95% of the people sharing 5% of the wealth, right? So you got 95 sharing 5. Now, I don't know if we have any math majors on the line, right? But you don't have to be one to know that that is not a good ratio, right? 95% of the people sharing 5% of the wealth. So who's on the left side of money? Well, you have those who have a job, right? So these are going to be your employees, right? Whether you work 9 to 5, 7 to 7, like I used to, 10 to 8, right? It doesn't matter. You fall into that quarter category. These are the individuals who are going to be exchanging their time for money, right? Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. And especially last year, if 2020 taught us anything, it taught us that these jobs are just jobs. Like, we can't fully depend on them, right? We could be let go at any time, right? We could be let go at any time. And so what you have to understand is that you cannot build true wealth by just working. Like, you cannot work your way to real wealth, right? Then you have those individuals who are self-employed, right? So these are what? Your barbers, your nail techs, your doctors, your lawyers, your gym trainers, right? These individuals, you know, they get to make their own schedule, work when they want to work. Here's the thing though, their paycheck is still dependent upon somebody else, right? You got to think of your barber, or think of the person who does your hair, right? If nobody is sitting in their chair, they're not getting paid, right? On top of that, their time is still being exchanged, right? When you are in a service position like that, you either have to have clients, right? Or, your time is still being transferred, right? Exchanged. And so what we really want to focus on, guys, is getting to the right side of the money, right? You want to get to the right side of the money. So how do you do that? On the right side, you have 5% of the people sharing 95% of the wealth, right? 5% of the people sharing 95% of the wealth. Obviously, a lot more money to go around. So who is on the right side though? So you have business owners, right? You have your business owners. These are going to be the individuals who are able to leverage other people's time, energy, and effort. Now, the key word here is leverage, right? What does that mean? That means you don't have to do all the work by yourself, right? Think of these different places that we go to: Starbucks, Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, right? When you go to these different places, do you see the CEO there? 10 times out of 10, probably not, right? But the store is operating. We're able to be helped, right? We're getting serviced. Why? Because they have systems in place, right? They're leveraging other people's time, energy, and effort, right? And then you have your investor column. This is what I've been educating myself on for the past 4 years, right? This is the 1%. This is where, instead of you working for money, your money is now working for you, right? You're literally putting your money to work. Why this category is absolutely amazing? There's no cap. But what do I mean? That means there's no cap to the amount of money that you can make. There's unlimited income potential, right? So for the rest of this presentation, what we're going to be talking about is how can we get to the right side of money? How can we start capitalizing off of these things on the right side, right? But I do want you to understand it goes way deeper than just this surface level, right? Because guys, there's actually a mindset attached, right, to each of these categories. And anybody that I mentor, anybody that I help, we focus so much on mindset, because here's what you have to understand. And this happens especially with people in our community, right? Especially people in the Black and brown communities. When, these rappers, these athletes, right? When they get all this money, a lot of the times that what happens is that they still end up broke, right? It might not happen immediately. Longevity, they end up with no money. Why? Because wealth is a mindset. It's not about the type of the amount of money that you have in your bank account, right? Most of us have a poverty mindset. And so I tell people what we got to work on first is we got to work on your mindset, right? We got to get rid of them limiting beliefs, right? We have to speak our money affirmations, right? We can't be thinking from a lack mindset no longer, because if you do all of those things, you're still going to attract poverty. Even if you do have $1 million in your bank account, right? It's not going to stay there. And so some of the different mindsets, right? If you have an employee mindset, most employees, the thing that they are mainly focused on is job security, right? Like that's literally all they care about. They want to know, like, how much are they making when they work overtime, right? They want to know, is there holiday pay? They're super worried about like their 401k, retirement, things like that, right? Like that's where their mindset goes. You have those who are self-employed. These are the people who are super independent. They think that they can do everything better, right? That's typically why they want to, go into business for themselves. I don't want a boss. I'm my own boss. But what a lot of people don't understand, y'all, is that there is a fine line between somebody who is self-employed and somebody who's a business owner. See, there are a lot of people in our community right now who think they're business owners, when in all actuality, they're really self-employed. They're really an employee of their business. What do I mean by that? I mean that they can't stop working. If they stop working, their business stops. Until you have systems in place, until you can be on an island somewhere and your business is still running, you're not a business owner, right? If you stop working and your money stops, you're self-employed. And I feel like, especially right now, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Everybody got a side hustle. Everybody feels like they're a business owner. Absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. Those who are in the business owner category, they're focused on wealth building, right? They are truly focused on wealth building. They want to create systems. They are like longevity, right? Like years and years on, I'm trying to make things easy and I'm trying to get rich, right? The investor. This is somebody who is like, I value financial freedom. This is another word that I feel, I'm not going to go too much in this because like this is really something I'm passionate about, but another term that is like coined that I think is super cliche now is financial freedom, right? People keep saying like, I want financial freedom. I want financial freedom. But in all actuality, people don't even know the sacrifices that need to be had for you to get to that type of level, right? We're too lazy nowadays, right? Anything, something gets hard, we're done with it, right? And so when you do become an investor, that is something that you value, right? So let's talk about it. How can we get to the right side of money, right? So we're going to go over a couple of financial markets today. We're going to go over dropshipping today, and then we are going to go over creating residual income, right? So first things first, guys, this is like the foundation. I know you have probably heard of it. If you have not, I'm glad I can be the first one to introduce you. Why? Because so many people have been tainted by this due to just social media and a lack of knowledge, right? Guys, Forex is a financial market, right? It is not stocks. I want you to write that down. This is not the stock market. Some people think it is. It's not, right? What you're doing, guys, is I want to paint a picture. Say you're traveling outside of the country, right? We're in the US. Say you go to Europe, right? When you go to Europe, you cannot spend your US dollar in Europe. You have to exchange your dollar for that country's currency. In our example, we're going to Europe. They use the euro, right? So you have to exchange your US dollar for the euro so you can spend money out in Europe. That is the foreign exchange market. If you've ever been out of the country, if you've ever went to, like an exchange booth and exchanged your money, you have already participated in the market, right? You just didn't get paid for it. This right here, this is exactly how the banks make their money, right? Y'all, like we literally teach you how the banks make their money. Anybody who's watching this, if you have a savings account, right? If you have a savings account right now, your savings account is the bank's investment account. So here's what happens. If you've ever tried to access your, mobile banking at like 2, 3 in the morning, real late night hype, right? You will receive an error message. It's going to say something like temporarily unavailable. Please call this number now if you need immediate assistance. Now, what that translates to is sorry, your money is not here. We are currently trading it, right? So here's what you have to understand. Whether or not you decide to be a participant in this market, it's already happening to your money, right? It's already happening to your money. Take it a step further. If you've ever looked at your savings account and you realize that you have like an extra $1, $2, 60 cents, right? These are real life numbers that I've had in my savings account. If it's ever increased by a small amount like that, that is because they used your money to trade with, right? That is why your account increased by that $1 or by that $2. So again, it doesn't matter if you don't decide to participate. Your money is in the market regardless, right? Now, here's also what I love about Forex. The entry to get in, it's like so super small, right? The investment amount to actually enter this market is very small compared to other financial markets, which is why our community is thriving right now, right? You have a couple of $100. You can literally start a trading account with $10. Now, I like to be very transparent with people, right? You come in as a super beginner trader, $10 might not benefit you. You start with 50, you could rock with that, right? Don't go like $10. I feel like you got to be, up there. But, I like to be honest with people, but you can start a trading account with $50. What is $50? Right? Nothing. So that's Forex. Then we got this thing. I'm sure you have heard of this, especially in the last 24 hours, right? Cryptocurrency. If you've heard of Bitcoin, Ripple, Ethereum, y'all, this market right here, it's booming. Like when I say booming, I mean booming, booming. I don't know if anybody follows the stock market, right? But there is an app called Coinbase. I don't know how long they've been around, right? But I guess they haven't been publicly traded in the stock market. They went live, I believe, yesterday. Their opening price of their stock was like $329, right? So that goes to show you that cryptocurrency is on the up, right? And so if I can tell you anything, start investing into this, right? It doesn't matter if, it's $25, if it's $5, you can literally, you can download Cash App. If you got Cash App, you can actually start investing into Bitcoin, right? And just let it sit there. And say you get paid bi-weekly, every check, put $35 in there and just let it sit. This right here, I will tell you, it's more so longevity. Don't be one of them people where, every 2 days you checking it like, oh my God, I still have $36. No, this is something like, this could be your retirement plan, right? And so what I tell people is, start on Cash App, and then, things get, more advanced once you have more money. I tell people, personally, if you are trading like a lot of money, like on Robinhood or Coinbase, you definitely want to start converting your cryptocurrency to this device called a ledger. I recommend this for everybody who has a good sized amount of crypto or who is going to be trading crypto continuously in the future, for the simple fact that your money is safe, right? These apps can literally like malfunction. They can, be of no use, but as long as you have your money on a device, it's safe. I don't know if anybody heard that story where a guy had invested into Bitcoin when it was like pennies, cents, right? Lost his password to whatever platform he invested in and now has zero access to this Bitcoin, right? And in 2010, Bitcoin was less than a penny. In 2021, it's worth $60,000. Can you imagine investing when it was like cents worth? I cannot, right? I actually know one person that I went to elementary school with who actually invested into cryptocurrency. And the only thing that I have to say to that is your environment is everything, right? I've known this kid since I was 6, right? Known him since I was 6 years old, and he invested into Bitcoin, him and a group of his friends, right? We weren't, too close in high school or anything like that. I'm out partying. We going out every weekend. And, he was like, into computers, into science, and it was a group of him and his friends who invested into this. They are rich now, right? They are wealthy now, like extremely wealthy. And I just kicked myself. I'm like, dang, I was thinking about the wrong things in high school, right? And this is when it was, brand new. I graduated high school in 2010 when it was cents worth, right? So that's just some perspective. You got to remember your environment is everything. Your network is truly your net worth, right? And so then if you we have an educational platform that educates on this high frequency Forex. Guys, this right here is kind of mind blowing. It's all based on time. And so what that means is that you can actually make money in increments of like 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minutes. So we have people who are actually making their hourly check in 1 minute, right? Hourly check in 3 minutes. Once you see this happen, your whole perception of money and you working for it completely changes, right? Like it's literally just mind blowing. Then we have drop shipping, right? John had told me, he got a lot of questions about it. People were super excited about this. I am super excited about drop shipping. So drop shipping has been introduced to me prior to this year, like a good 3 times, right? But for some reason in our community specifically, when people have information, it's like they don't want to give it to you, right? So literally for like the past, I say maybe 2 or 3 years, people have brought it up to me like, oh, you should do drop shipping. Oh, you should do this. I'm like, bet. Where do I start? Right? Nobody wanted to tell me. So when I started getting educated on drop shipping, I'm like, yo, this right here, this is amazing. You literally do not have to have any inventory on hand. Y'all, when I tell you that this is the year of the digital entrepreneur, this is what I mean. Y'all, we don't have to leave our house to make any type of money. So for anybody who is unfamiliar of what drop shipping is, I'm going to explain it to you super, super simple. I'm going to paint a picture for you, right? I want you to imagine that you want to sell some shoes, right? You want to sell some shoes. And so what you're going to do is you're going to make an agreement with a supplier, right? This supplier is like, hey, John, you can get these shoes for $30. All right? You can get these shoes for $30. Now, here's what you're going to do. You're going to post pictures of the shoes, right? You can order a pair. So, you can take pictures of the shoes. So, it's a live person. You can just take pictures of the shoes, whatever the case may be. You are posting pictures of the shoes, right? No inventory on hand. You start attracting customers. Customers want the shoes. You're charging the customers $80 for these shoes. So here's what happened. Customer buys a pair of shoes. Right? They pay $80. $80 now goes into your bank account, right? You take $30 and you give it to the supplier, right? Here is the icing on the cake. The supplier is the one who is going to send the shoes directly to your customer. You're going to give them your customer's name, your customer's address, and they're going to ship the shoes to your customer, right? Now, you do have to take into consideration that you do have to spend money on advertising, right? Facebook ads that lead to, Instagram ads, they own everything. So you do have to spend money on advertising. So let's just say you spend $25 on advertising. That leaves you $25 profit, right? Per shoe, $25 profit. You gave the supplier, $30, that left you with $50. You spent money on advertising, that left you with $25. Right? So you now have $25 to profit. And you can do this with anything, right? And so I actually started my dropshipping store in January, right? And I'm going to tell you guys even more of the secret sauce, right? Even more of the secret sauce. If you have any type of influence, if you are good at anything, right? We're all good at something, but if you're like really good at something and like most people are not, I recommend you writing an ebook, right? You can write an ebook, you can make some type of course or some type of workbook, right? So me, I'm really good at marketing, went to school for it. I built a whole business online these past 4 years. So I had this masterclass last year, right? And so what I did is I learned about drop shipping. From this masterclass, I created this ebook, right? On Canva, totally free, didn't cost me anything, right? Well, technically I pay for Canva, but you could do this with the free version, right? So it didn't cost me anything. Made it on Canva. There is things on Shopify where you can like do like a digital download. So I went ahead and linked it. And now people buy this book, and when it comes in, it's pure profit, right? I don't have to pay the supplier. I'm the supplier. I could pay for advertising, but what's helped me is that I already have some sort of influence, especially in this realm of marketing. So people want to buy the book, right? But you pay for, say you pay for advertising. Cool. Drop off a little change from that. But for everybody for every one person that buys this book, $37 gets deposited into my account, right? So that's like the real sauce. And so here's what's cool. We actually educate people on drop shipping. And what type of products you should buy, what type of products you shouldn't buy, because that's really what people want to know, right? How to communicate with suppliers, really from start to finish, everything you need to know about creating a dropshipping store, right? And I absolutely love it. Like I said, I've had my store since January. It's literally lit. I be telling people, I'm like, dang, it is so easy to make money nowadays, guys. Like, there is just really no excuse. And especially in this digital age, like, we really have to transition ourselves from just being the consumer and really figure out, how can I monetize my skills? How can I monetize my talents? Right? Every day I'm like, man, how can I capitalize on this? How can I capitalize on that? Every single one of us has no skill sets that we can be charging for. Right? I had a friend, he loves to dance, right? He's also starting like a clothing line. I told him, I was like, why don't you, start charging people for like Zoom classes, right? You can teach, kids how to dance, right? You can create this space for people, right? We have to literally start thinking outside of the box. I challenge you, right? I challenge you tonight. Write down like 10 to 15 things that you think that you can monetize, and then figure out how to monetize it, right? And especially if you're working in your zone of genius, people know you for that. People are going to have no problem paying you for that. What really hinders us, and I said this in the beginning, is our mindset, right? We have limiting beliefs that we believe that we don't deserve for other people to pay us, right? We are in an information industry right now. Knowledge is power, and people are paying, right? When I have first did this this content market masterclass, I'm like, dang, nobody's gonna pay for this, right? I lied. I was wrong. People definitely paid for this masterclass because we're in an area, we're in a time where people want to know how to engage with other people. People want to know how to build relationships online. So again, whatever your zone of genius is, figure it out, right? Figure it out. And so the last thing, how to get to the right side of the money, guys, is going to be residual income, right? And this one is literally my favorite. Right now, the industry that I'm talking about when it comes to residual income, guys, is going to be network marketing. So many negative stereotypes when it comes to network marketing literally comes from lack of information, lack of knowledge, and really just us as a community really just speaking on things that we haven't educated ourselves on. Right? It's just like a he said, she said type thing, but you don't want to go straight to the source. Right? So I absolutely love network marketing. Here's why. You actually get to leverage the efforts of other people, right? Get to leverage the efforts of other people. Does that sound familiar? When I was talking about that business owner quadrant, right? How all the business owners, they're able to leverage other people's time, energy, and effort. Same thing that you're doing in network marketing, right? Most people that look like us, all they hear is, oh, she at the top, and we all at the bottom. Y'all, mindset again, right? We tend in our community, we tend to be thinking about the wrong things, right? We tend to think about the wrong things. So we got to transition, right, our mindset to start thinking from abundance, right? To start thinking a little bit differently, right? Network marketing actually truly closes the wealth gap, right? Y'all, the wealth, like, y'all, obviously we know there is a gap, right? Network marketing, it doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter what color you are, whether you went to school or not. It literally levels the playing ground, which is why it baffles me that people in our community are so opposed to it, right? Like, it literally does not matter where you started. You can like completely pass somebody else. Right? So like I said, y'all, completely levels the playing field. And on top of that, my absolute favorite reason, y'all, you get tax advantages, right? I literally, if anybody's on Clubhouse, I literally just did a room on Clubhouse today about how to reduce your taxable income, right? What people don't understand is the wealthy stay wealthy because they know the system, right? And so especially us people that look like us, we have to educate ourselves, especially in this realm. Right now, I'm definitely not a tax expert, but what I can tell you is the bare minimum of how to reduce your taxable income and keep money in your pocket. Right. So I'm going to share some things with you. When you become a business owner, right? Like if you have like a home-based business, so I know, Forex, there's a network marketing portion with some companies, people who do, tax credit, you got people who do financial services, paparazzi, jewelry. When you start a home-based business or you turn your side, or you turn a hobby into a side hustle, you now get advantages to be a business owner. See, this system was not made for W-2 employees. Right. And until we realize that, we're always going to be behind. We're always going to be in last place. Right. So here are some of the things that me personally, these are all the write-offs that I've done. And it depends on different industries. Right. So different industries, you can add on or tack off some different things. But y'all, my whole life is literally a tax write-off. Right. So you can write off your phone bill, your internet, your rent, a portion, right? Like a room for like a home office. If you're driving, you can use your car note. If you do any traveling for, business, I'm out, I'm from Sacramento. I'm out here in Atlanta right now. So all my travel expenses are covered. Airbnbs covered. Any rentals covered. Gas, car repairs. If you do any marketing, right? So online ads, we talked about drop shipping, right? All that money that you pay to advertise, a write-off, right? Any supplies that you buy, any meals that you buy, monthly memberships that you pay, education, right? If you invest into yourself, into personal development, into, becoming better in your industry, write-off. Any workshops that you go to, write-off. Utilities. Right. So there's literally so many things that you can write off. Like it's game changing. Right. Like there's literally so many things. And so I want to read y'all off an example, right? To show you how much this system really is just not for us. Right. So we have James. He is a W-2 employee. Right. So he works at wherever. He works at Enterprise. That's where I used to work. Right. So his income from the year from his job is $65,000. IRS is going to tax $65,000, right? Then we have Janet. Janet also works at Enterprise, right? But she picked up a side hustle, right? She picked up a side hustle. So the income from her job, $65,000. From her side hustle, $12,000 that year, right? So that's just her, making an extra $1,000 a month. Here's the thing though, her business expenses that she was able to deduct, $40,000, right? So the income that she made was $77,000 for the year. She made more than James, right? But she was able to deduct $40,000. All them bubbles that I showed you on the last screen, that equated to $40,000. So we take 77, that's how much she earned, and then we deducted, right, her write-offs, and we get $37,000, right? So now the IRS is taxing James for the $65,000, but they're only taxing Janet $37,000. And here's the kicker. She's made more than him, right? Like she made more than him, but because she had write-offs, because she had expenses, right? The IRS is on her side. They cater to business owners. And so I tell people, I said, look, I don't care if you partner with me, right? You need to be doing something. You need to be charging something. You need to have some type of business. And as a side note, right, you do not have to go run out and get an LLC to start doing business. Like you don't have to do that, right? You do not need an LLC to start doing business. So I see a lot of people in our community, they're like, okay, I got my LLC. I'm ready. Don't got no inventory. Don't know how to market. Like what good is an LLC? And especially if you in California, you got to pay $800 just to operate, right? I started my first LLC in Georgia, We didn't have to do that. So when I started my second LLC in California and I got that $800 bill, I was like, whoa, I should have read the fine print, right? So if you're not making money like that, if you're just starting out, there is literally zero reason for you to go run out and get an LLC, right? Start getting income, right? So yeah, I just had to throw that out there because a lot of us run out and get LLCs, right? So here is 4 steps to building wealth. All right. So write this down, take a screenshot of it, whatever. This is what you need to be focused on, right? First things first, guys, you need to have financial goals, right? You need to have financial goals and they need to be specific. I help people, with their money every day. I mentor people, right? People come in and they'll be like, okay, one of my goals is financial freedom. Y'all, that cannot be the goal, right? Like, we got to break that down. What does financial freedom mean for you? How much money per month do you need to be making, right? Some people want to leave their job. How much money do you need to, acquire in these markets, in this business for you to leave your job? Is that $2,000? Is that $5,000 a month? Is that $10,000 a month, right? Would you feel comfortable at $25,000 a month? What is your number? But you have to get specific because that's the only way that you're going to get it done, right? So you got to have your goals, right? I say think of 5. Think of 5, and then you really got to start monitoring your expenses, the money that goes out, right? You got to start budgeting. And so what that looks like is really you just tracking all the money that comes in, all the money that goes out, right? I actually have this free download. If anybody wants it, feel free to reach out about what to do with a dollar, right? And what each percentage of your income, where it should go, right? And then you want to focus on getting out of debt. I know some people getting out of debt just seems like just such a treacherous thing. I recommend if you're like a lot in debt, I would recommend talking to a financial advisor. They can definitely set you up with a plan, right, to get you out of debt quicker. But also just Google things like, you could work on the snowball effect. If you're not familiar with that, it's where you start to pay off your least expensive amount of debt. And then what you do is once you have that paid off, then you take whatever amount that you were paying for that debt, and then you start putting it towards your next debt. And so it's kind of like a snowball effect. But you want to make sure you're giving yourself goals and having goals, right? Number 2, you want to lay out your plan for success. Guys, this is when you're talking about your money, when you're talking about your finances, you have to lay it out. Where is your money coming from? How are you going to make money? Especially say in this digital space. Okay, cool. I'm gonna make some money doing Forex. I'm gonna have a drop shipping company. I'm going to be hosting these master classes. I'm gonna get paid from my speaking engagements. I'm going to invest here. You just have to know, where is the money coming from, right? They say the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. Right now in this time, you're focusing on creating your 7. So what is that? And it can't just be your W-2 9 to 5, 7 to 7. Like, you need 6 more, right? As we know, a job is not guaranteed, and you got to make sure that you and your family can eat, whether you have the job or not have the job. Like, we got to start looking at our jobs as just extra money, right? And everything else that, like, it can't be the end all be all anymore, right? They've proven that to us. Right. And so now this is extra. My W-2 is extra. And so now I have to figure out, how can I start monetizing my skills? How can I start getting paid? How can I start capitalizing in this digital space? All right. And then absolutely, you want to start minimizing your spending. Right. The one thing that messes up us as a community is that we have not mastered delayed gratification. Right. We want everything now. And until you can become disciplined to be able to delay that gratification, you're going to find yourself in a cycle. You're going to find yourself in a cycle over and over and over again, where you're living above your means. You're buying things that you don't need to impress people that you don't even care about, right? And who probably don't care about you. And so literally we got to get out, we got to get disciplined. And that is definitely an area of opportunity for every single one of us, right? Myself included. So after you've done that, after you stop just spending to spend, right? Now we're focused on, okay, well, I need to solidify my actual 7 streams, right? And now what you're going to be doing is you're going to be storing your capital to then invest. See, we have this strange phenomenon that saving is going to make us wealthy. Absolutely not, right? You cannot save your way to wealth, just like you cannot work your way to wealth. So what you want to do is you want to save until you get to a certain amount, and then you want to invest that amount, right? We talked about some different ways that you can invest today, right? Forex, cryptocurrency, starting a business, right? There's the stock market. There's literally so many different things that you can invest into, right? But you want to store your money to invest, right? And then from there, you start building your businesses. And then that's when you're starting to invest into bigger things like the stock market, right? So many people say, I'm going to invest in the stock market. I'm going to, get on Robinhood and invest $10. Guys, that's cool. That's fine. That's Danny. I know people who have had success, right? Couple, hundreds, thousands of dollars. For you to get the massive success that most of us envision, that most of us want, it takes money. It takes capital to do that. And that's why another reason why I tell people foundation wise, there's levels to investing, right? Forex, right? Literally level 1. The barrier to entry, minimal, but you start building up your capital. You start making money, right? And then you invest it into things like the stock market. Now you put a couple thousand down so you actually can have a couple of shares into something. You got to think these companies that, we know, like, and trust, some of them are super expensive. Like Disney stock is $300. Coinbase just opened up at $300. That means it's only going to get more expensive, right? So we have to start building up that money. That's why it says you have to store your money to then invest. Right. So that's why, again, Forex is a great way to start storing your money so you can invest into larger things. Right. And so, guys, that literally wraps up everything that I have. I want to leave you guys with this quote right here. And I really believe this. And I think it's so relevant, especially now. Like, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will literally work until you die. Right. Warren Buffett said that. And so it doesn't matter what you choose to do, right? You just have to figure out something, right? You have to figure out what can work for you. And if I can share anything with you, right, it would be to really focus on changing your mindset. Read, right? Or listen to audios, because I work with so many people, and especially so many people in our communities. And sometimes they don't have the success that they want because of their mindset. They're not willing to get out of their comfort zone. They're not willing to change, right? They're scared to change. And you got to realize that you don't know what you don't know, right? We have to make sure that we're reaching out to the individuals, that we're partnering with the individuals who actually have the results that we want. Right? We love our neighbors. We love our sisters. We love our brothers. But I tell people this: if you are not willing to change bank accounts with somebody, you should not be taking financial advice from them. Right? So there's a lot of things that we have to switch up in our communities for sure. But it starts with mindset, because again, if you're not switching that up, you capitalizing in this digital space is going to be pointless, because it's going to come and it's going to go. What we are focused on is we got to start creating that foundation. Right? We got to create the foundation. We got to change our mindset. Right? And so here are all the different ways that you can connect with me. I know John has my my Instagram up there, but I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I actually have a podcast that I host for women, business entrepreneurs. I'm on Clubhouse. If you guys are, I host like 4 rooms a week. And then my website is investwithkingsandqueens.com. But yeah, John, that is it.
All right. Wow. Phenomenal information. I'm glad you came on. You was dropping gems, and yes, I be in those clubhouse streets too. You know, trying to get some of my people to come on here because you know in our community too, it's also about we have to see it to believe it. So
Yeah.
sometimes you know I be trying to get some of the people from clubhouse that be really dropping gems, giving game. Come on the platform, come educate our community because sometimes when they see your face and see you put these presentations together, definitely it makes it a little bit easier for them to start making that paradigm change. Like, hey, if this sister could
Yeah.
do it or this brother could do it, I could do it too. Want to say shout out to Monica Rose. She was on saying what's up to you. Another phenomenal sister. I've been trying to connect with her for the
Yes.
longest to get her to come on. She be dropping gems. I be tuning in on Facebook, watching her little stuff. She got game for us. So I be learning a lot of little gems from her. And you know that's what this is all about. You know, just intentionally giving the information to the community, making sure we connect the community, give these information because you see these reports and basically you know they saying in 2053. You know, just looking. This is how the statistics and the numbers. We know numbers don't lie. People do, but looking at the trend and where it's going in the Black and Brown community, the financial gap and where we gonna be at is just is not looking good. And we
Right.
have to do more. And like you said, it won't be about just working 9 to 5. We all got to figure out ways to have different streams of income coming in. This drop shipping is big. I know a lot of people who selling merchandise and different things are doing it. But again, if you have an ideal to our young people out there, we always try to empower them and let them know, you know, everybody's not cut out to go to a 4 or 5 year
Right.
program for college, but there are opportunities out there. You can do other things like drop shipping, or get into like some of this investments, take a few dollars and invest. But we got to teach them something. And I think a lot of the information you gave today was just phenomenal, especially about the tax breaks. We have to in the Black community learn how to leverage
Yeah.
the tax system, because again, these systems are created to help some people and hurt others. And when you don't have that information, you don't know how to maneuver. And it took me a long time to understand what was going on and why I couldn't get over the hump. And again, these systems are put in place for certain people to get ahead, certain people don't. But you got to pick up a book. You got to do something. That's what I encourage my young people. I got 2 financial books right here. We had a guy, Jasper Smith, on, just finished a little quick, small book, good tips, good game. And then a sister out of Oakland, Smart Money, just learning. You
Yeah.
know, we got to read. And some of us commuting, driving around, Ubering, like you got to get the audio books. Listen, for some people, they ain't going to sit there and read the book. But if you just go ahead and listen in the audio form, I'm telling you, I have so many audio books. I'm listening to all kind of stuff, driving here and there, going to these different events. Because again, you just have to put the information in your mind. And I think you hit it. The paradigm shift has to happen right now for our Black and Brown community when we look at economics, financial literacy, getting invested in the stock. And I know there's a lot of trust and a lot of fear and different things of that nature, but we have to take risks. We go out and we buy Gucci, Prada, and Birkin bags with no investment and no return. So you got to take some of that money and invest it. We had all of these people doing EDD, all these different things happening. Take the money and invest it. People on here are trying to give you the gems and game, and that's what it's all about. So just thank you for coming on and giving those gems to the community. It is much needed. There's a big push right now throughout this country from a lot of Black and brown financial literacy people trying to make sure that our people get impacted, because we know you look at the finance industry, there's not a lot of us there. So a lot of that information is not getting there. So when we have a few gems like this sister here coming to educate the community, take notes, get this information, ask questions. You know, we got to break this pride thing. And I heard you say it, like we have to just start saying, hey, I need some help. Because we know in the Black and Brown community, financial literacy is like talking about mental health. Nobody wants to talk about it. And we got to have those conversations. And it's not going to happen overnight. I also teach you know, some of the Dave Ramsey baby steps and different things, and I've done those, put those together, teaching people how to get out of debt. Because the fastest way to wealth we know is getting out of debt. It's hard to invest and do things when all of your money is being consumed, and that's why I tell people, get your budget together, create your budget, know where your money is going, know what's going on. I mean, I remember when I first started turning my financial life around, I had money coming out from everywhere I didn't even know. You know, just this and that, and it's just like, you know, you just got to take a hold of your financial future. It's very important. We must have it. And just thank you for coming on and giving this information to the community. And we get to replay it. That's the blessing to the young people. I say, y'all have technology. Y'all get to see this stuff over and over. You can press rewind, go back. What did she say? You know, we was coming up. It was like you heard some good stuff. If your note taking skills wasn't good, you know, you was in trouble. You know, you had to get a note taker in class or something. But now we have technology. We have YouTube. We have different platforms where you can see this information and bring it back. And I just think it's phenomenal. And I just thank you again for coming on and doing this, because it's important as we climb the corporate ladders and the educational ladders that we come back and help our people, because our people are struggling right now. And, you know, even with all of the violence and things that's going on, we are getting impacted in so many ways in our communities. And we got to stick together, and we got to share information, and we got to work together, and we got to start trusting.
Yeah,
you know, we gotta break. We gotta break it. We gotta be willing to believe somebody, because this mentality of I can't trust you, trying to get over on me, it just ruins our growth. And sometimes we have to question our own integrity and really what are we about and what is our vision is. And I think that's why we're so impactful in doing the things that we're doing for the community, because we do this from the heart. A lot of this stuff we don't get paid for. Sometimes there's opportunities to get it, but it's not about that. We have to bless each other. I was able to crab out of the barrel in some areas of life. There's still other parts of my life that I'm still working on. But again, it comes with connecting with people, networking. And that's why I teach my young people all the time. You can't be afraid. You can't be walking around mugging and not saying hi, because you never know who the person on the side of you might have the money and have some game that's going to help you change your life or have an opportunity for you. So we just going to keep empowering our youth, keep empowering our community. I'm proud of you. Any way that we can support you and help you, I definitely want to make sure we do that. If you have a digital form that you're going to be doing on your podcast, share the flyer with us. We'll blast on all of our social media platforms and get people. I know it's women driven, and that's pretty cool, because we can put in our group. We got about 75% women in our group, and that's just a way to connect women. And what you're doing, I think, is powerful. So just thank you. You know, I can't even say anything else, but just thank you.
Thank you.
If you have anything else to say, let me know. I'm looking at the questions. It wasn't a lot in there. And basically, you know, just saying thank you. And, you know, hey, we'll replay it and see if somebody reach out to us, we'll get it back to you. But if you have anything, let me know.
No, I mean, I think you definitely hit it on the end, hit the nail on the head. We definitely just have to, you know, come together, trust one another more. That's why I think the work that you're doing is absolutely amazing. It's needed. And so I thank you again. I appreciate the opportunity, and it really takes a village. It takes a village to be able to, you know, minimize that wealth gap. And so I just want us to get more diligent with our finances. I want us to stop thinking that, you know, it doesn't take money to make money. And I really just want us to start working together to really minimize that wealth gap.
Man, definitely powerful stuff. Well, with that being said, we're going to start closing out this show. Just want to let everybody know this Sunday, we're going to have another Sunday conversation. This Sunday, we are talking to the people that are dealing with disabilities in our community. We're going to get to talk to them. They're going to kind of educate us about some of the things that they're having struggles with, some of the things that we need to look out for and support them as community. So I'm looking forward to that phenomenal conversation. We still have room for other panelists. So if you want to come on, maybe you got a professional background or you help with services, you want to give resources and tips, we're looking for you to come out. Go to our website, bothsidesoftheconversation.org. We'll get you connected. It's very, very important that we have this community. I am getting a lot of emails. I'm getting a lot of information from community or people that are dealing with disabilities. It seems like community, they feel like community don't care. These organizations don't care. They're having trouble, especially our people that's wheelchair bound, not being able to have the proper access, living in situations that are not beneficial. So we just go keep on trying to push through and make these things happen. We're going to keep having these conversations, and we're going to keep pushing the movement. Solidarity is everything. We can't just pick and choose what solidarity looks like. We're going to make sure that we go ahead and support the people in the disability community, find out what their needs is. How do we support them? How do we get our elected officials and people in these different departments to make sure that they're doing the things to get our people with disabilities the services that they need, and making sure that they're looking out for them. So I think it's going to be a phenomenal conversation. And then this Tuesday, we're going to have another segment of Hidden Gems. where we highlight our Black and brown businesses. We're going to have some community leaders and some people that's doing some things in the community to help impact us all. So looking forward to that. And then next Thursday, we're going to have another phenomenal educational presentation. Should be some great information for community. So just be looking out for us. Continue to support us. We need all the support. We're looking for volunteers to help out. There's a lot of things that we need to do to help bring this platform to where it needs to be for community, because this is all about community. Just making sure that our people get the information. We're going to keep doing this narrative shift, making sure that people hear what's going on, because there are some phenomenal things going on across the city as well as this Bay Area and across the globe that our people are doing. So just looking forward to that. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and finalize tonight's segment. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you this Sunday for our Sunday conversation at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Have a blessed evening, everyone.